Hey, what's going on, guys? I thought to make a quick video showing you the first ITX build I'm going to try doing. I've wanted to do an ITX build for a while, but only recently. Some of you guys might have noticed that on Newegg they had a sale on the Lian Q07 for $45, and then there's a $15 mail-in rebate as well, so it'd be $30 after that. So I kind of couldn't resist that, and I ended up picking one up, and that kind of was the catalyst for this build, I guess. First, I'm going to show you the stuff that I already have. This is a Cooler Master Extreme Power Plus 500 watt. It's not very good, but it'll work fine for this build. I'm going to be putting in this old Crucial Ballistics kit. This is 4 gigs, 88824, 1600 megahertz. And if that one doesn't work, because I've had some problems with that in the past with compatibility, I've got a set of XMS3 as well lying around. I think this might be back from RMA or something. As far as storage, for now I'm just going to be using probably one of these 500 gig Caviar Blues. I got 2 of them, but you don't really have a lot of space in this case, so I'm probably going to stick with one. And I might be adding a SSD cache drive later on with Intel SRT, so that might be going in later. Now for some other stuff that I picked up. I got a H77M-ITX from AsRock. It was $95, I believe, and it should work fine for this build. The reason I went with this, I was also looking at the H61N USB 3 from Gigabyte, but the H61 chipset doesn't support RAID and it doesn't support Intel SRT. So if I want to do either of those things, I need to get slightly higher end chipset, which is why I went with this one. So I haven't even looked at this yet. Just really quick. Got some documentation and stuff in here. Back plate. A couple SATA cables. Just throw that on the ground. Take a really quick look at this board. So there it is. It's a socket 1155 H77 chipset. It's got a PCI Express X16 slot. 4 SATA ports. You got your USB 3 header right there. That was the other thing. The H61N USB 3 from Gigabyte doesn't have a USB 3 header, as far as I'm aware. You've got 2 4-pin PWM fan connectors, and pretty well equipped rear I/O panel. Then to go with that, I got a Intel Celeron G1610. It was $35. I know a lot of you are probably thinking, you know, it's Celeron, it can't possibly be good, but this is actually based off Ivy Bridge, 2.6 gigahertz, 2 megs of cache. It's a dual core with no hyperthreading, so it's not going to be setting the world on fire or anything, but it should work fine for this system. And it comes with the Intel stock cooler, which I'm going to be using. So you may have noticed that there's no graphics card here, and there was actually supposed to be one, but because I'm an idiot and I thought the Q07 had plenty of room in it, but it turns out it's not going to fit either of the cards that I was going to put in it. I have a GTS 450 and a HD 5770 I was going to put in. Neither of them fit. The 450 comes pretty close, but you'd have to like mod the 6-pin connector because it's an end mount, so it wouldn't fit. So I won't be putting any graphics card in right now, but down the road I'm thinking maybe a GTX 650 Ti. Those 6 series cards from NVIDIA have really short PCBs, and they have pretty decent performance as well, so I think that'll work fine down the road. And you can actually put a dual slot card in this case, but you will lose the hard drive bay, and you probably will need to either mod the PCI bracket on the card or the PCI slot area on the case in order to make it fit with a dual slot card. So there's the case too. It does have a USB 3 in the front. I just took it out because I was trying to cram a video card in there. that'll be going back in for the time being. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this system, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's done. Alright, so here it is put together. It actually wasn't as hard as I thought it would be for an ITX system. Granted, I don't have a video card in there yet, so that'll add an interesting wrinkle to it, but it took maybe an hour or two. I already installed Windows, so that took up some time. Yeah, the only things really I could say is the best way to do it, I think, is to install the motherboard and everything, and then push the power supply cables through the back and connect everything, and then push the power supply in, because once the power supply is in, obviously you can't really access anything. I'm going to take the side panel off and show you inside, although you probably won't be able to see much. So that's about as much as you're going to be able to see. I got the hard drive mounted up in the optical drive bay, and then I removed the hard drive mounts in the bottom to free up space for the video card whenever I get one. For now, I've got most of the cables stored at the bottom of the case, and that's about it. One thing to add as far as putting it together is that it is made out of aluminum, so you need to be really careful not to over torque the screws, and you may want to wear gloves while putting it together so that when it's done it's not covered with fingerprints. Also, you notice I got the power supply, the fan facing the other way, and that's mainly because this case really has no fan slots anywhere, so the power supply is going to be the main thing ventilating the case, and I wanted that on the other side so it would help cool off the motherboard a little bit. So that's something to keep in mind as well, that you don't want to put a lot of power hungry parts in here because it will get pretty hot pretty fast. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully someone found this interesting or informative. Hopefully I'll make a video whenever I get a video card and show how I put that in there and what the cable management looks like once that's in. But for now, that's it. Thanks for watching.